Okay, guys, so I went to the ironing board, and just like in previous videos, if you don't remember how we press our fabric down to make it neat, just go back to some of my videos and look. So I went to the ironing board because you see how much neater it looks, and it allows us to see exactly what our bows will look like. So now that I did that with the pin, I took the pin out of the end, both ends, and what I'm gonna do now is excuse me, I'm gonna clean up my ends. You remember how we clean up? We just take our scissors, and we cut our leftover threads. And now here's the part that I really hope I can explain to you guys. So you see how you have this opening right here? It looks like a little hole. What I do, there's a few ways you can do it, and I just think it's whatever works for you. What I do is I try to take my finger and tuck this part in, but if you take, say, a pin, actually, you know what would be good is my seam ripper. Hold on one second. Okay, guys, so I went and got my seam ripper. This will work well, or remember those little tiny scissors I showed you before? They'll work as well. So I'm going to take the seam ripper, and I'm going to take one of the raw edges on the end, and I'm just going to start tucking it in the best that I can. I'm just tucking all of that excess in. I hope this makes sense to you guys. So see how I tucked it, and it no longer looks like a raw edge, but technically the raw edge is there. The raw edge is there. It's just tucked in. So we just straighten it out to the seam. And then what I usually do is I just keep playing with it. And when I say tuck it in, I'm thinking that's not even 1/4 of an inch that we want to turn it in. I said tuck, but that's what we're doing. We're turning in that raw edge. So let me show you what it looks like. So then you take a pin. You take one of your pins, and you just put it in to hold that tuck in place. And now you see what the raw edge looks like. See how nice it looks. So now I get to do it again, because remember we have 2 raw edges that we need to tuck. So I'm gonna take this second raw edge and show you again. I hope my camera's right. I always think I'm off, but you just take your seam ripper, scissors, anything straight, and you just turn this in. That's all I'm doing, is turning this edge into that hole the best that we can. Okay, and then once we get it in, you want to make sure, excuse me, that it's all even as you tuck it in. And you can play with it. Sometimes, I even have to take it back out. Sometimes if you have little hands, I have relatively big hands, you can take it out and start all over again. And that's what I just did. So you see, I hope I'm showing you this. When I look back on the video, you guys can't see it. I'm just going to do it until I demonstrate it correctly for you. So I'm just tucking these ends in. And I said to you, remember, about 1/4 of an inch. And like I said, you can play with it with your fingers, because you want it to be flat when you tuck it. You want it to be nice and flat, because these are going to be the ends of our bows. And I'm a perfectionist. I really am. Sometimes it's sickening. But this is what it should look like. Okay, and you can play with it, pull it out a little, and if it's a little more than 1/4 of an inch, don't panic. So then what I'm going to do now, since we have our nice ends tucked in, I'm going to go make a straight stitch across the ends to secure them in place so that they don't come out. And then I'll show you guys what I did. And I forgot to ask you guys, please visit my website, Bustawraps, BUSTAWRAPPS, Bustawraps.com. Thanks, guys. I'll be back. Bye-bye.